War zones and politically unstable countries are often prime markets for companies producing weapons and armored vehicles. However, not all buyers and not all producers have deep pockets. Manufacturers with limited budgets therefore sometimes resort to adapting civilian truck or car chassis for conversion into a cost-effective armored vehicle. One such example was the use of German Unimog trucks, whose chassis were adapted for this role by the Northern Irish company Short Brothers, commonly known as Shorts. Shorts developed two armored vehicle prototypes based on the Unimog chassis. These vehicles were designed to be modular, allowing them to fulfill various tasks depending on the needs of potential buyers. The project was designated as the S600. Later, British Aerospace Australia, BAE, took over the project, continuing to market the vehicles globally, achieving some minor export success. Starting in the 1960s, the Short brothers began producing armored cars on commercially available Land Rover chassis, achieving significant export success. In 1992, Shorts sought a new, readily available chassis to develop a new vehicle. The German Unimog 437 series, specifically the U1550L and the heavier U2150L chassis variants introduced in 1988, was soon selected. These chassis had already proven their excellent cross-country performance, and spare parts were widely accessible worldwide. Shorts envisioned two main versions of the vehicle. The first was the ISV, or Internal Security Vehicle, built on the U1550L chassis. This model was spacious enough to carry 12 men and was designed for police, paramilitary, and military use. The second version was the IMV, or Infantry Mobility Vehicle, which utilized the heavier U2150L chassis. This variant could transport a section of 8 men along with 3 days' supplies and could be adapted into several configurations. Shorts constructed two prototypes in the mid-1990s, equipped in various configurations for testing and promotional purposes. However, shortly after these prototypes were built, the entire Shorland range of vehicles was sold to BAE in 1996 as part of an internal restructuring of the company. In 1993, on the other side of the globe, the Australian Army launched the Bushranger project to select a new IMV. The vehicle had to meet stringent requirements. It needed to carry 9 soldiers along with their equipment, fuel, and supplies for 3 days, including at least 270 liters of water. It had to have a cruising speed of 90 kilometers per hour, or 56 miles per hour, on-road, with a range of 600 to 1,000 kilometers, 372 to 621 miles, and off-road capabilities comparable to a Unimog truck. The vehicle was required to support a machine gun mount and provide armor protection against standard 7.62mm or 0.3-inch rounds. While protection against armor-piercing bullets and mines was desired, it was not among the core requirements. A total of 13 companies, including the BAE, answered the call and soon began competing to sell their vehicles to the Australian Army. In 1996, BAE began constructing an improved prototype of the S, known as the Foxhound, in hopes of securing the lucrative contract. However, in October of that year, the Australian Army issued a new directive to initiate formal contract negotiations with a select few companies to provide trial vehicles. Before negotiations with BAE could begin, the company announced its intention to withdraw and officially pulled its offer for the Foxhound in January 1997. Despite this setback, another business opportunity soon appeared on the horizon. During the second half of the 1990s, the Kuwait National Guard, KNG, was searching for a new armored internal security vehicle. In addition to supporting the Kuwait Army, a crucial duty of the KNG is to assist the police in maintaining security and stability. BAE once again offered the Foxhound, which had to compete with unspecified vehicles from South Africa, the USA, and the UK. After a thorough evaluation, the Foxhound was selected in January 1997. The KNG then signed a contract with BAE for the delivery of 22 vehicles in several different configurations. The first pre-series prototype was completed by early September 1997, while the 22 ordered vehicles were built and delivered between 1998 and 1999. The acquired versions included an ambulance, an armored personnel carrier with 2 types of weapons stations, a high-pressure water cannon carrier, as well as light and heavy barricade removers. All vehicles were painted in the standard KNG scheme, a sand yellow base disrupted by green patches and smaller white dots. Additionally, all vehicles were fitted with orange flashing lights. The vehicle initially developed for Kuwait would later serve as the foundation for other models. According to the manufacturer, the S600 was relatively affordable within its class, while maintaining performance on par with its commercial counterparts. Built on the proven Unimog chassis, its operational costs were kept low due to an 80% parts commonality with regular vehicles, ensuring easy access to spare parts. Under Australian management, unlike the original options envisioned by Shorts, all versions were designed to be based on the more powerful U2100L chassis. The diesel engine, coupled with a manual transmission featuring 8 forward and 4 reverse gears, is located at the front of the vehicle and can be accessed through hatches. For full access, the entire armored body can be lifted from the chassis. The wheels are mounted on portal axles, which feature hub drives and torque tubes. These axles are equipped with pneumatically operated differential locks that can be engaged while the vehicle is in motion. Each wheel station is independently suspended, utilizing coil springs and hydraulic shock absorbers. Additionally, the steering is power-assisted. Given the various roles envisioned for the S600, the ability for troops to quickly embark and disembark was given a high priority. Most of the vehicles produced were equipped with 2 doors, one on the side and one at the rear. The side door consists of a 2-part hatch, with the lower portion folding down to form a step, while the upper section, which includes an integral vision block, opens upwards. The rear door follows a similar design but is wider, and the upper hatch could be outfitted with a firing port. The armored hull is of fully welded construction, providing adequate protection against 5.56mm and 7.62mm small arms fire. While an option was available for applique armor to enhance protection against 5.56mm, 0.21-inch, and 7.62mm armor-piercing rounds, it appears that no customers opted for this upgrade. The bulletproof windows offer the same level of protection as the armor, and the belly of the vehicle is sufficiently protected against grenades and small mine blasts. The S6000 was designed to accommodate various weapon stations. The prototype featured a single-piece circular hatch in the roof, which could be equipped with a range of armament systems, the largest being a 12.7mm 0.5-inch M2 machine gun, or a 40mm 1.57-inch Mark 19 Mod 3 grenade launcher. These weapon stations could also be outfitted with protective armored shields. Additionally, the manufacturer offered alternative roof configurations, including circular hatches above the commander's and driver's positions at the front of the vehicle. Another option was the installation of firing ports below the vision blocks in the rear compartment, allowing for additional weaponry. The driver's seat could be positioned on either the right or left side, depending on the customer's requirements, with the commander seated behind him. In the hull section behind the driver and commander positions, bench seats are installed along either side, allowing troops to sit facing each other. For safety and comfort, each seat is equipped with a seat belt. Beneath the seats, there is space to store equipment and supplies. The S600 is highly versatile, easily adaptable to various combat and police roles. These roles include an ambulance, armored personnel carrier, heavy and light barricade remover, high-pressure water cannon, command and surveillance vehicle, police internal security vehicle, airport security vehicle, mortar carrier, and anti-hijack vehicle. After BAE completed the production of 22 vehicles for Kuwait, the company decided in January 1999 to sell the Foxhound design to Tenix Defense Systems. Tenix then continued the program, retaining the involved managers and engineers. Although the name Shorland S600 was officially retained, the vehicle was often referred to as the Teenix S600 during this period. The company's first new customer was the Belgian Police. Since the late 1970s, the Belgian Gendarmerie had been operating a fleet of 80 BDX armored vehicles. When the Gendarmerie transitioned to a civilian police organization in 1992, the number of these vehicles was significantly reduced. By the late 1990s, it became evident that a replacement was necessary. After evaluating various options, the S600 was selected, and in 1999, a contract was signed with Teenix for the delivery of 6 vehicles, with an option to purchase additional units over the next 2 fiscal years. However, this option was never exercised. At the end of January 2001, the first of these vehicles was officially introduced to the Belgian police forces. According to the Belgian police, the primary purpose of these vehicles is to safely transport officers during situations involving armed threats or excessive violence, such as riots where projectiles like stones and fireworks are being thrown. In addition to shielding the officers inside, the vehicle can also provide cover for those positioned behind it and is capable of easily breaking through barricades or similar obstacles. The vehicle accommodates a driver, a commander, and up to 7 police officers. Belgian vehicles are designed to be airtight, allowing them to operate effectively in environments where tear gas is used. At the request of users, the rear side windows were enlarged to enhance visibility. These windows are made of polycarbonate, providing both fire and impact resistance. To accommodate police officers wearing full gear, including helmets, the vehicle's height was increased by 10 centimeters, making it 2.8 meters tall instead of 2.7, 9.19 from the original 8.85 feet. While the rear door still requires manual operation, the side door is equipped with a pneumatic opening system. Additional features include run-flat tires, folding wire mesh protection for the front windows and fixed mesh on the sides, and a quickly removable power-operated light barricade remover mounted at the front. In 2015, a new centralized police support unit known as the Directorate of Public Safety, DAS, was established and now operates the S600 vehicles. Since 2006, the 3 Benelux countries, Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg, have had a police treaty in place that permits the cross-border operation of personnel and equipment. Prior to this treaty, such cross-border operations were not allowed, although cooperation between the countries was common. A notable incident from April 2003 highlights the need for this treaty. During that month, workers from the metallurgical industry staged a demonstration in Luxembourg, which was not accustomed to violent protests at the time. Lacking armored vehicles and water cannons to manage the protest, Luxembourg arranged with Belgium to deploy these resources. However, due to legal restrictions, Belgian water cannons and armored vehicles could only be operated by Luxembourgian police officers and had to bear Luxembourgian registration plates. In September 2002, Teenix Defense announced that a classified Northeast Asian country had ordered 2 anti-hijack vehicles. Along with the 2 vehicles, Teenix also supplied a comprehensive package of spare parts and service equipment. It was later revealed that the customer was South Korea. The 2 vehicles were acquired for the 707th Special Mission Battalion, now known as the 707th Special Mission Group since 2019, an elite counter-terrorism unit within the Republic of Korea Army Special Forces. The anti-hijack version appears to be derived from the police ISV, but features smaller side windows and round openable firing ports beneath them. Both the rear and right side doors are manually operated. In 2005, the Singapore Police introduced 2 new S6000 vehicles for the Special Tactics and Rescue Unit within the Special Operations Command. While both vehicles are essentially identical, one is equipped with a light barricade remover. Although they resemble the South Korean anti-hijack models at first glance, the Singaporean versions are distinctly configured with a right-hand drive system. In the late 1990s, Saudi Arabia expressed interest in purchasing a significant number of armored vehicles. Although the S600 was presented to officials from the Saudi Arabian Army, no agreement was ever reached. In January 2008, Tenix was acquired by BAE Systems, the successor to BAE. Despite this third change in ownership of the production line, the S600 project continued, with the vehicle still being offered until 2014. By donating the remaining prototype to the National Military Vehicle Museum in Edinburgh Parks at the end of 2019, BAE Systems clearly indicated their decision to cease offering the vehicle. This decision is understandable, given that, by that time, the design was over 20 years old. This concludes our video on the Shorland S600. What do you think of this vehicle that had at least 4 different company owners? Was it a good design that simply could not compete with other competitors? Share your opinions in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, we invite you to subscribe to stay updated on future content. If you'd like to contribute further, consider supporting us on Patreon or PayPal. We want to especially thank our medium and heavy tank Patreon supporters: Alex Harvey, Andrew Oberg, Dan Fitzpatrick, Dave Schuford, Gustavo Sanchez, Joe, Leslie Holkower, Owen M., Peter Bradbury, The Sasquatch, and Why Do You Care? Your generous contributions help fund our research, illustrations, and video production. Until next time, stay focused and stay tuned.